where's my mommy? Oh, your mommy is at the home. I said, my mommy is at the home. How you get here? She's like, oh, well, I don't have any answers to give you because whatever we're doing is what your mommy requested. I said, how could she request me of this if you're living in our house and she's living inside of the home?
She took her home and she moved in the home. And she lived, Miss Ingrid, by her home.
On many occasions, we had to ask people to do the right thing.
Yes.
On this occasion, we chose to do the right thing.
To know that you put someone, your loved one, in the care of somebody else and come to check on them and find out that everything was just a change, it's mind-boggling.
Join us tonight at 8 p.m. here on The Rundown on the ZNS Network.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Dr. Gale, and I'm inviting you to be a part of a journey where we open the Word of God to receive strength, to receive empowerment from the Scriptures as they have been written. Get your Bibles, get your cup of coffee or your tea, because this journey is gonna be great. This is your day of victory.
At Harold Bond, I'm Ted Jervis, and this is ZNS.
The Rundown is brought to you by Commonwealth Brewery Limited. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the show. We are coming to you tonight from Grand Bahama. And as a journalist, we always go where the story is. And the story has brought us to this northern city. It debuted last night on the Northern Edition, a story by Romiko Knowles, who spoke about a woman, a young mother, who had placed her mother into care. Care here, hospice care, home away from home was the name of the home. She left her mother there in search for work in another island. However, when she returned, only to find out that her family home was no longer her family's home, and the alleged caretaker was now the power of attorney for this woman. It's a story that shocked the nation. Many people, after seeing it last night, took to social media to express their concern, some expressing their disgust, and most calling for action to take place. Hours later, it began. Here on Grand Bahama, when we arrived, a protest in motion outside of Home Away from Home in central Grand Bahama. Scores of Grand Bahamians from all walks of life, the religious community, religious leaders, civic community leaders, and ordinary residents coming together from various sides, all to show solidarity regarding this story. And of course, for hours, they protested in the sun. Tonight on The Rundown, we bring all sides together. We bring the young lady who came in from Chub Key in the flash of a moment by a heroic effort of citizens to get her flown into Grand Bahama. She tells a story to us. We also talk to community leaders as to why they're so passionate about this story. And then we talk to the woman herself, Mervy Knowles, the caretaker, as to what transpired and why she did what she said she did. All sides come together here on The Rundown. At the end of the day, you, the viewer, will make your final decision and analysis based on what they say. It all begins right after the break. You're watching The Rundown. Welcome back. It's a story you hear only on ZNS. A Bahamian woman loses her home and all rights to her mother after placing her in an elderly care facility, or grandmother for that fact. In this investigative report, which started what has now gone viral, Rumiko Knowles tells us that the 30-year-old mother is sharing her story in hopes of receiving justice.
30-year-old Philippa Carey grew up with her grandparents in Bahamia. Sadly, on her birthday last year, October 30th, her grandfather passed away, leaving her solely responsible for caring for her grandmother, Ingrid Carey, who she refers to as her mother. Recently, Philippa received a job offer off-island and hired caretakers to look after her mother, whom she says is showing signs of dementia.
From I was a little girl, I know her not to be 100%. I mean, she's a sweet person and everything, but she's not 100% there.
After accepting the job offer off-island, she hired caretakers to look after her mother. Only she says they quit after a few days, citing the difficulty of managing her mother's challenging care needs.
They'd come for a day or two and we'd never back for them again. So when I got a job offer, I said, okay, well, mommy, the best way is to put you in the home for a little bit. Let me go work, make money. And when you're in the home, you'll have that care that you need.
In December of 2023, Philippa made the difficult decision to place her mother at the home away from home elderly care facility owned by Murphy Knowles. Unfortunately, that choice took a turn for the worse. A few months later, when Philippa returned home for a visit, she was shocked to find out that she no longer had a home. Murphy Knowles, the owner of the care facility, had moved into her house.
I said, where's my mommy? Oh, your mommy inside the home. I said, my mommy inside the home. How you get here? She's like, oh, well, I don't have any answers to give you because whatever we're doing is what your mommy requested. I said, how could she request me of this if you're living in our house and she's living inside of the home? It doesn't make sense to me. So she didn't want to give me any more answers further. So she closed the door. So I went to the police station myself.
Philippa was escorted back to her home by police, only to discover that her mother had signed the house over to Murphy Knowles.
She signed over her NIB pension, the full amount. She signed over the survivor's death benefit for my father. And then she also gave them power of attorney over her. I have to rent an Airbnb or stay by friends or stay in a hotel just so I can be home. And it's not fair to me because that's the only place I live my whole life. And a stranger came and it just took everything away.
The situation escalates even further. One night, Philippa says she received a distressing call from her mother, prompting her to rush to the elderly care facility with emergency medical technicians. However, when they arrived, no answers were given as the owner of the home had legal rights over her mother.
The only thing the EMT told me, she was like, go get yourself a lawyer. She said, because in your mom's mental state that she is, it isn't right that somebody could give themselves power of attorney over and you know nothing about it.
Philippa has since hired an attorney, and now all she wants is justice. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Rumiko Knowles.
All right, thanks a lot for that, Rumiko. Well, I can tell you, if you've seen what's been playing out on social media all day, the live feeds from in front of the home that cares for the elderly and the outrages that Grand Bahamians displayed today as a result of what transpired and when they heard that story last night. And we witnessed right there on the scene an effort to get Philippa here because Philippa was on Chub Key where she works. And in a matter of minutes, they had a pilot who would fly to Chub Key, collect Philippa, and now she's here in our studio tonight. Philippa Carey, welcome to The Rundown. It's great to have you here.
It's great to be here.
We heard the story. We all know the story. Right. We heard your cry and your plea. Where I want to start is actually in the context of describing your relationship with who you call mom, but really is your grandmother. What is your relationship like with her?
My relationship with her is any typical mother-daughter. We would have our headbutts because she has a strong personality and, dealing with her illness. And then I have a strong personality myself, so we'd bump heads from time to time, but the love has always been there. From I was a little girl, she grew me up. She took me from my mother and my father. Of course, as grandparents do, that's nothing new. And they both took me and they have me as their daughter. So even though I may be their granddaughter by birth, by law, I'm legally their daughter. They adopted me. So that's why, although I call them mommy and daddy, that's what they are.
So you provided care for them in the home?
For both of them, yes.
For both of them. Your grandfather, your father passed?
Yes.
And then it was just you and your mother left. What happened why you had to put her in a home? Or was it you who placed her in the home?
It was my idea, because I'll be honest with you, when my daddy passed, he left a large bill with Jimmy Power.
Sorry.
Like $9 grand. And we didn't know about it. So Jimmy Power, in return, cut off our power. Now, the money I was able to get to bury him, it was either I pay Freeport Power or I buried my dad. What was I supposed to do? So I did what anybody would do. I buried my father. With all the resources we had, I buried my daddy. And I got a job off of Island. I said, okay, well, there's an opportunity where I could just catch myself. I lose my daddy recently. I lose him on my birthday. To know, everybody could tell you, me and my daddy was extremely close. That was the love of my life. So when I lost him, I said, okay, well, I get a job off the island. I could catch myself. I could make sure my mommy's somewhere safe, where she have the care that she needs. And I could make the money to come back home and take care of her until we could be a family again. So it was a decision that I made because I had no other choice. Me as a young woman, I mean, I shouldn't be knocking about, but I have the ability to move around. I could sleep by friends. I could go here. My mommy in a wheelchair, she doesn't have that. She doesn't have the opportunity. So before I left, I spoke with family members and a friend of hers. I said, okay, well, I think the best bet right now is to let her go in a home where she could be somewhere stable, where somebody's going to take care of her round the clock like she needs. That's how my mommy gets out of the home. My mommy is in a wheelchair. She cannot be inside our house with no power. It's unethical. That's not right. So they cut the power off, and the day I moved off Island, my aunt and my uncle took her to home away from home, and they signed in, and that's where she's been since then.
When you came back, and have you been checking on her since she's been at the home?
I have been checking on her as best as I can. If I can't make my way there, because of course everybody knows traveling is costly. I have to take 2 flights to come here, and once I come, I have to catch, whether it be a Airbnb, a hotel, all of that is money that I'm working. I can't come as often as I like, but in the event that I cannot make it, I would reach out to my friends with, hey, when you get a moment, take mommy some food. She like pollo, take mommy some pollo. Call, check on her. If you ride past the home, stop and see her. Just let her know that even though I'm not here, I still have persons who could reach out to her for me. And even every time I reach in Freeport, I even go in my uniform sometimes, and I go sit there and talk to her, and I go and heal her. Every time I come home, my mommy is normally my first stop. Of course, my kids. And after I see my kids, I go and see her, I go and see my mommy before I go and get my kids.
Were you satisfied with the level of care she was receiving at the home?
I started off, when she first initially came inside of the home, she enjoyed it. Because I guess around that time was Christmas time, so people coming and checking, and they having church service and stuff like that. She liked that. She liked the company. But over time, I would get these calls where she's unhappy or she's being mistreated, and it gives me something to think about because I'm so far and I'm getting these calls and there's nothing I can do. And I could call as much person as I want and check on her, and when you go to talk to her, she's not even comfortable speaking you in the home. Like she would try to tell you, well, come take me out of here, or let me talk to you outside, because she's never alone. They watch her like a hawk in there. She can't express or say things that she wants to because they are constantly looking at her. And even when you call on the phone, you have them in the background talking to her. I get calls of me screaming on the phone. I have voice notes of her. Like, she's been trying to come out of there for so long, and it's bothering me because as much as I want to help, I couldn't help for so long because the home where we live all our life was taken away. If I go and help or I move her, where are we gonna go? So for her best interest, I kept her there because that's stability. I don't have anywhere to go. I don't have anywhere to carry her. So if I was to take out the home or sign her out, where are we all going to go?
You expressed concern that the caretaker was now living in your family home.
Yes.
And to find out that it was signed off.
Yes.
That frustrated you. Why?
It frustrated me because this is somewhere I've lived my whole life. You know what I mean? I was working to save the money to cut our power back on, to have everybody back home, have my mommy back home, have my kids back home, everybody under one roof. And to come home and meet, everything changed. Like, I feel like I was in a dream because there's no way. I was just home about 3 weeks prior to, and everything was the same. And now I come on a random visit and I pop up and I meet, everything changed. Like, what happened? This is a house I lived in my whole life. This is the only thing my daddy left. And to see somebody else living inside the home while me and my kids have nowhere to go, it was mind-blowing.
It's alleged that she would have been gifted the home from your mother. Is that not acceptable to you?
It's not that. Even if it was the case, because I wasn't there, I can't say, like you say, it's been alleged. If that was the case, somebody could have reached out to me. I've met Murphy, and the persons in the home, I've met them on multiple occasions. I've given Murphy my contact a few times. If this was a gift or anything that you felt was good, you could have reached out to me or anybody on our behalf and say, hi, well, your mommy is having these plans. How do you feel about it? You know what I mean? It was never once brought to me that this house was gifted or it was an idea, anything. So when I read home, everything just keep popping up. I'm in shock because I knew nothing of it.
Were you aware that the national insurance checks were being taken to obviously take care of her and provide whatever assistance needs to be provided?
Somebody had called me and said that they saw my mom around NIB, and in reference to her signing over her pension and also my daddy's survivor's benefit. And it raised some red flags because why would you do that? So I'm in Chub Key, so there's not much I can do. I can only make a few calls around. I tried to reach my mommy. I tried to reach my aunt and uncle. I say, well, did y'all know that mommy signed over all this money to the woman? Like, can somebody get some answers for me? And just everybody was in shock because why would you do this? And at the same time, she claims she went about this the right way. On my end, I have my mom calling me and telling me she has no money. So I say, Mommy, what happened to your pension? I don't have no pension. My people from credit union calling me, telling me I don't have money in the bank. Where's my pension? So where was the break? If you took her to sign these documents, or did you even tell her what you were doing? Or is she not in the medical capacity to even remember what you did to her?
Why do you suspect that she has dementia?
Mommy she's a ball of fire. But I put it in a nice way. To know her, she's a very sweet person. I mean, my mommy would give you her last. A stranger. If she said you walk, if she's driving on the side of the road and you need a ride, she will stop and give you a ride. But at that same time, she has like these mental breaks, like where she would just start screaming and carrying on. She'd curse you out. She'd tell you some things. She would tell you some things. And you just have to remember and be patient with her. And then she would be here with me. Like you and I could be talking. She'd be here for 2 seconds. She clicked back out and she gone back in 1970s, 1980s. Like, it isn't lining up. And if you talk to her, like her speech is all over the place. All over the place. So I know something is not entirely right.
But there's never been a formal diagnosis.
Right. Now I know over the years, she's been treated for like anxiety, depression, things like that, where she's been seeing a licensed psychologist, but to say, oh, she have dementia, Alzheimer's, not as yet.
Right. Do you believe she's been taken advantage of?
I do.
What do you want to see happen, and what steps are you taking in that regard? Well,
I'll answer the steps. The steps I've been taking in this situation, I have got myself a lawyer. I was advised by many persons to do so, so I've got myself a lawyer, that's one. And number two, I've made a report with financial crimes at the police station. So those two are the steps I took in order to get all of the situations sorted out. I do believe she has been taken advantage of because to know my mom used to know she's a nice person. But you shouldn't take advantage of her niceness. If you were so sincere, you had a best interest at heart, whenever I went to see her or anybody, you could have said, hi, Philippa, let me speak with you. Your mommy is making some claims here. She wants to give me all home, but I don't know how to feel about that. How do you feel about it? Because I am her next of kin. After me, that's it. I'm all she has. I'm all the two of them have. So if it was so sincere, why nobody reach out to anybody at no point in time and say, well, hey, Miss Carey want to be given this house. How do you feel about it all? What you want to do? Why is everything being done in such a rush? Why everything is being done in secret?
She has given power of attorney to Murphy.
Yes.
Do you have a problem with that since you're the next of kin?
I do. I do. With power of attorney, I have literally no say over her. So, like, if I wanted to move her from a home, I don't even have the chance to do that. Right. You know, it ties my hand to an extent where I do not like because that's my mommy. I won't sit there and tell you we have the best relationship like every mother and daughter does, but I would never want to put her in a place where she's being harmed or mistreated because I love her. I love her dearly. You know what I mean? So just the fact that people taking advantage of her, knowing that she has, even if it's not me, she has grandchildren out here. I have 5 kids. I'm a mother. And you're taking everything away from not only me, from them. So you put me in a space where I can't even have my children with me because I have to leave them with their fathers to take care of them because I no longer have that stability or roof to have everybody together again. And that's disheartening, and you're not thinking about me, you're not thinking about the kids, you're not thinking about anybody other than your family to benefit us, you living inside our house. And I don't feel like that's right. I don't feel like any human with a heart or compassion or decency should even be okay with that, knowing this woman have a family out here and she have grandchildren and this is what you're doing.
Claims that you don't have a good relationship with your mother and she didn't want you to have responsibility for her. What do you say to those claims?
I could say to those claims, like I've said, we do not have the best relationship all the time, but the love is there, and love trumps everything. Everything. So you could say what you want to say, but if that woman did not love me, she would not have taken care of me from I was 6 weeks old and changed my last name, legally adopted me, and even loved my children. You could ask anybody on the streets how my parents/grandparents feel about me and those children. And the things that's happening there, they would never want to happen. I think maybe my mommy might have been upset that she was inside of the home and I probably wasn't coming in as often as she would like, and I can understand that. Yeah. And who knows, maybe persons in their head like, oh, Philip will leave you in here, but at the end of the day, I know what my goal was, and that was to have us back together again. That's why I took the job off Island, because I've tried to find jobs in Freeport that, you know, that made sense for me to stick around, but I wasn't able to find anything. So my last resort was to find something off Island, still in mind, to take care of everybody around me.
So you believe she probably may have said, I want you to have my power of attorney, I want you to have the house, because that's the kind of person she is. You believe she may have said that to you?
I don't believe she would have said the power of attorney thing. She may have mentioned the house. I wouldn't put it past her, because she would give you the shirt off her back. You know what I mean? And she would give you anything. She would give away our stove. My daddy used to tell us. My dad used to say, Ingrid, you would give away the bed like sleeping under. That's just her as a person. You know what I mean? But I don't feel like you should, knowing her age and her mental capacity, you shouldn't even take that serious. Right. If that was the case, I feel as if she should have gotten the keys, and when I come there, she's like, oh, well, hey, Philippa, this is the keys to your house. Your mommy talking about giving away. Talk to your mommy or do something. Right, right. But it was no type of intervention or any type of reaching out for communication to say, well, hey, this is what's happening. Everybody just did it behind my back while I just, like, what's happening? Right. I could be walking in the food store, and I kid you not, I walked in the food store in person, I come up to me, oh, Philip, we're so sorry. I say, sorry for what? Oh, that's so sad what that person do to your house, that woman take your house. It's all over the place. It is all over the place. And me being off Island, and every time I come home, it's a new story I hear. We got a few seconds to go to a break. You would have obviously seen the outpouring of support from the Grand community here today. How does that make you feel? I am in awe. I'm not even going to lie to you. I know when I put this story out there, it was going to ruffle a few feathers, but the support that I'm getting and still getting, it's overwhelming. I was in tears all day because I can't believe that persons care that much about me. They care that much about her. They care that much to make a change, to want to fight. And persons who believe me that I do love my mommy. But we just got put into hard times just like everybody does. We just run up on hard times and my hands were tied, and I did what I thought was best for her. So I'm in awe, and I'm so thankful to everybody. I can't even call them other names, but I'm in awe. I'm flabbergasted. Well, thank you for talking with us, and we definitely will follow and hope for the best in this situation. Thank you for coming and sharing with us. All right, we're going to go to break. When we come back, we're going to talk to community activists, community leaders who are all sharing their take on this story. And then, a little later, we talk to Murphy and hear her side of the story. You're watching The Rundown. We're back after this. Stay close.
JBI. I love JBI coconut water. It is very refreshing. I am a lover of JBI. I always use the sweet corn and also the corned beef, the rice, the peas, and the condensed milk. They're my favorite.
I like JBI because all of their products taste really good. I love JBI because their corn tastes really good.
But these are good quality products, and I enjoy all of the JBI products. Try JBI.
Happy 30th anniversary, JBI.
Happy anniversary, JBI.
All right, congratulations to the JBI 30-year anniversary on the good services and the good prices on the product.
Thank you, Bahamas.
Is the Little Caesars Stuffed Crust Pizza. Get more pizza for less money. Only $12. It's a whole new level of pizza with cheese stuffed crust so spectacular that there's nothing left.
Pizza.
A delicious pepperoni pizza with the crust stuffed with lots of cheese and brushed with butter and garlic flavor and sprinkled with Parmesan cheese. Hot and ready Thursday to Saturday between 4 and 8 for only $12. Simply irresistible. And only at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
Welcome back to The Rundown. We are in Grand Bahama tonight, of course, following this breaking story that has gripped the nation and has gone viral everywhere. And to all of you who are watching on social media, thank you for joining us. Those of you who are in the Lion's Den, of course, we've seen your comments and hearing you talk about this story, especially those of you on YouTube. Well, when the story broke, it literally created outrage in the community. And the community of Grand Bahama quickly mobilized and came together. And that's why you saw the protest early this morning that we've been talking about all day in front of the home where they cared for the elderly. People were outraged. And the person who really was responsible for organizing and and galvanizing people to come out and speak up is, of course, Wendy Fox. You can see their video of how persons responded out there, and they were chanting that she has to go. Merv got to go, come out of the house. They were chanting, and the crowds grew as the morning progressed. The crowds got larger. People from the community came out, the business community, civic leaders came out, religious leaders came out, all expressing and showing solidarity and support for what's happening. And you see us there talking to Ramiko, who would have broke this story on the live feed and getting a reaction from him. But I'll tell you, Wendy Fox was the person who really galvanized the support and got T-shirts and hats done and was out there. And Wendy's joining me live here in The Rundown tonight. Wendy, thank you for being on the show.
You're welcome.
It's been a long day.
Very long day. 7:30 this morning.
Wow. This was passionate to you. We see by the T-shirts, we see by the fact that you were out there and then you came here outside of Zadanas to await the arrival of Philippa, who you got flown here by just a phone call, calling people and saying on the live feed, we need to get Philippa from Chub Key here. And sure enough, in a matter of minutes, you had a pilot who went and picked her up and brought her here. Why did this story hit you so much?
Well, I'm just a people's person, you know? And I just have a passion. I feel people pain. Mm-hmm. When I watched Sadness live last night, I didn't know Philippa from a can of paint. I didn't know the story, didn't know nothing. Mm-hmm. But I said I wasn't going to sleep with this. I had one agenda, was to get everybody on one accord for First Light. That's what we call it, First Light. And the mission was accomplished. Mm-hmm. It had to be in God. Had to be in God.
What about this story upsets you so much?
Plenty part. This whole story upset me. But what hurts the most is blood, sweat, and tears. People work hard for their stuff. Hard. For someone to come and take stuff from you. You understand? Knowing that I'm not in the right mind to even do or give no permission or sign nothing, it's heartening. It's a white-collar crime. It's a white-collar crime.
What do you want to see done?
I want justice to be done. Justice for Miss Ingrid. Miss Knowles has done this to plenty people over the years. This is not the first incident that happened in Freeport. She's been doing it for years.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. This one just came to the front hand, like we just hearing about this one. But allegedly, this been happening for years. And today is the day when it stops.
She obviously believes that this was a part of her job in taking care, and this was a gift that was given to her. But that's not settling well with you.
It's not sitting well with me. Not at all. This is not a part of her job. She went beyond her job. She She came from helping people or being passionate about people to being a thief that she is, allegedly. She take the deceased pension, survivor's benefit. She took the pension for Miss Ingrid. She went illegally, it is alleged, that she signed over Miss Ingrid's house in her name. What she could not have done if it's under mortgage. That's something we learned. Then on top of that, everybody in her house, she has insurance out for them. It's called burial insurance, where she put everybody who was staying with her under insurance, a separate insurance. She wasn't finished. She then wanted Miss Ingrid insurance as well. She took it. That's illegal. That needs to be investigated. It's wrong. I didn't sleep last night. I made one post, go on in my group chats, because I had many. I sent a voice note. I said, everybody be by home, away from home, Carver Beach for 9 o'clock. And God moved from there. He was there.
Is this going to go away just like that for the people who are protesting?
Never. Never. Every day, we're going to be in front of home, away from home. She has 3 locations. We'll be in front of each one of them locations every day. We'll be in Bohemia, where the house which she allegedly stole. We'll be to these business places, national insurance. We're calling out national insurance. We're calling out the lawyer is alleged. Mr. Kevin Russell, we're calling you out. It's alleged that you're behind Miss Murphy Knowles. We're calling y'all out. Everything y'all do was illegal. And we need everybody in this situation right now to be arrested and held before the court. There's a criminal matter.
And of course, these allegations are still unfounded, and these are allegations at the point. And so we want to make sure that we make it clear that we don't have facts on the matter yet. These are reports that have to be investigated, and we'll give people the opportunity to respond to them if it is the case as to whether or not it's true or not. But Ms. Fox, I know we're out of time, but just in 30 seconds, what do you want to say to the people of Grand Bahama
oh, Lord.
As far as what they've come out and supported?
My people, my Bahamian people, I want to thank you all. I so appreciate the love that was shown to me. I know you all love me, right? But you all came out and you all showed up, and it was of God. We had a peaceful protest, and we're not going to stop until everything is resolved and Miss Ingrid is back in her home.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
No problem.
And of course, we're going to show you some video of what took place at that particular protest today, earlier today, some of the things that you've seen transpired. We'll roll that even as we get ready to talk to another person. Take a look at what you would have seen earlier today.
This is amazing. What media is all about, and what we're here to do is makes our job worth it. And I'm just proud to see that people are actually supporting this young lady.
Thank you, Reed. Who is responsible? Where did the ball drop? Why did it take this one person coming forward and saying, listen, I have some concerns in order for this code to be unearthed?
What I don't need all that bread, that don't make a show. Hi, I'm Brent Burrows, Vice President of Retail and Sales at CBS Bahamas and the CBS Pro Store. Not only do we guarantee the best prices on all your favorite building materials, we're proud to offer the best delivery program in all of Nassau. Whether you buy one box of screws or a truckload of plywood, island-wide delivery is just $5. And for our Family Island customers, we're proud to offer complimentary drop-off to the mailboat of your choice. Visit us today at the CBS Pro Store on Robinson Road and check out our website to set up your next delivery.
That's the bear of the Bahamas. I like to go down. Oh yeah.
Hey, what's up, Mario?
Hey, Dale, what's going on?
Have you seen ZNS new digital platforms?
No. Let me go check it out.
Good day, Bahamas. I'm Devontae Hanna, and this is ZNS Digital,
where we cater to your news and entertainment needs. Are you a foodie? I thought so. Then look out for Digital Bites.
Shining a light on Bahamians and the good that they do, ZNS Digital is home to the Sunshine Room.
Keeping up with the latest trends, our original content will keep you entertained.
Yeah, that's cool.
But have you seen the new website?
No, I didn't see it. Let me go look.
We're still your most trusted source for news and information.
That's ZNS Digital?
Yeah, that's ZNS Digital, the people station in your pocket.
Welcome back to the Rundown, coming to you from Grand Bahama as we continue to track and watch and follow this story that's been developing. Well, the home away from home, the center of this story, where it's cared for the elderly, is in the central Grand Bahama constituency. And perhaps that is the reason why the Member of Parliament for Central Grand Bahama, Mr. Iram Lewis, showed up to show support outside this morning to voice his concerns. He joins us now here on the Rundown to talk about it. Mr. Lewis, welcome. Good to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me, Clint.
This happened right in your, I call it your backyard, as the Member of Parliament for Central Grand Bahama. You're familiar with Home Away from Home because you've assisted them. Talk to us about your relationship with this particular home.
Home for Home, I have 3 facilities in Central Grand Bahama. And as a Member of Parliament, I've been supportive, providing foodstuff, raw and cooked food. And whenever I'm called upon by the administrators and the operators to assist, we've been doing that. The last function was with Kiwanis Club, where we fed all of the residents as well as the staff members. So we've been very supportive as a part of our outreach program for Central Grand Bahama.
So by and large, this facility has been doing what it's intended to do for the people of Grand Bahama?
As far as I'm aware, because there certainly is the need for nursing homes in Grand Bahama, outside of social services. So again, with that being a service that is necessary, that is needed, and I believe myself, along with all the other members of Parliament and civic-minded individuals, have been supportive, understanding that these homes are not fully funded by themselves, and the grant that they would have received would not be sufficient to operate them. So we reach into our pockets, into our allowances, and also support to ensure that families or persons who are in the care of the operators are well taken care of.
What is your concern? You showed up to the protest today, and you were out there with the people. Why was that important for you to do?
I'm hearing the backstory, a lot of emotions right now. It's a sad story. On the surface, I mean, it is a sad story, and I'm really impressed with the amount of persons that showed up to lend support to the Carey family. We as legislators now must understand, must ensure that we have the right regulations in place, the right policies in place to protect persons who would be in care of these nursing homes, as well as to allow the operators to do it the right way. But this is now speaking to the fact that we need more oversight, perhaps. We need to ensure that we have monitoring on a regular basis. If these facilities are funded or given grant by the government or by private citizens, you should be allowed to have access to these facilities to ensure that the proper thing is done, because even sometimes the operators may not even know what's going on by some of their workers. So it bears in mind that we need now to pay more focused attention. And, you know, hearing all of that has taken place, whether the lady was in a right frame of mind or the family was fully aware of what's going on, we need to call for a full investigation. And I want to get some of the facts. So with a thorough investigation, facts will be revealed, and then we'll take it from there.
Sometimes it's very easy for emotions to run high in times like these. What advice you say to the people of Grand Bahama who tonight are sitting there saying, is this really happening on our island? Or what do I believe? Do I believe this or do I not believe it? What do you want to say to the people of Grand Bahama as a public official where people look to for, okay, what are we going to do? How are we going to do it? What do you want to say to the people of Grand Bahama?
Well, thank you for coming out and supporting the family, because obviously there's an issue. There is a challenge. One way or the other, there is a challenge. And to make the clarion call for support and for Grand Bahamians to come out and to support, it shows that something is wrong. Something is amiss. Something is amiss. So one way or the other, we need to get to the bottom of it and fix it. And we need to fix it fast. And if this is going to expose things that is going on in the community that we're not aware of, it's a good thing for it to be exposed. And now we as policy makers and as religious leaders, as service organization, now need to put our antennas up, to be more aware of what's going on, and now to zoom in to make sure that what the intention is happens. When you send up your relative to a nursing home for nursing care, you want to ensure that they are properly taken care of.
All right. It's been an interesting day, interesting story, and I'm sure you're going to continue to monitor what happens because it's in your constituency, and yours, that I would take, is generally a peaceful constituency.
Absolutely, yeah. I was in Inago yesterday with the DRMM. I'm doing a hurricane assessment, and when I heard the story last night, I was supposed to come back tonight, so I made it to the airport. Let me come home and see how I can be a part of the solution. As to what is going on.
I think it's so important what you just said, because sometimes people turn out for the initial protest and they don't follow through with ensuring that there is solution. Because this may be just one issue, one concern, but there are others out there, and the only way we can solve them is if we come together and follow through. If that means tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, next week, there has to be a follow through.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure.
I'm here, Grand Bahama, to support and make sure that we do the right thing.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us on joining us on the show. When we come back, we're going to, of course, wait to hear from Murphy Knowles herself. She's going to be here right in the seat to talk to us, tell us her side of the story. Watching the rundown. We're back after this. Stay close.
Beginning Monday, September 16th, it's the new lineup of ZNS News and Current Affairs, 6 p.m. It's What's Trending, Lifestyles in the Afternoon with Stacey Campbell Marshall, 6:30. We head to the north for the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition, 7 p.m. It's the Bahamas Tonight National Report, followed by the Bahamas Tonight Access, now at 7:30. Then at 8 p.m., your nightly news analysis show, The Rundown, with Clint Watson. And 11 p.m., the Bahamas Tonight at 11 with Royston Jones. It's a full lineup of the new ZNS, and it starts Monday, September 16th. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
So we're just gonna add some spinach in there, gonna bring out all that flavor.
From quick and easy meals on the go to savory and delicious down-home delights, dishing it up is what we do.
I'm Chef Manny. I'll be the new host of Dishing It Up Season 2, and I'm inviting you to my kitchen here at Manuelo's.
And together, we're cooking up a new season of delicious Bahamian dishes. Welcome back to Dishing It Up.
Welcome back to The Rundown. We are coming to you from Grand Bahama tonight. And thank you to all of you who are tuning in online or watching us social media platforms. We're great to have you with us. Well, we always hear people say there are another side to the story. You hear one side, you hear the other side, and then people say the third side is the truth. This next side of the story comes from the woman at the center of all of the concerns and the allegations that have been made. And in her eyes, there's a grave injustice taking place because what she says is being levied against her is simply not true. She's a proprietor of Home Away from Home. Murphy Knowles, at the center of the story, joins me now at the desk to talk about this story. Murphy Knowles, first of all, thank you for coming here and telling, as we say, your truth. And welcome to The Rundown.
Yeah, thanks for your having me to come here so I could really give the truth of what really happened.
So let's find out. We know the context of this story. at the center, the granddaughter who said she placed her grandmother in your care and because she had to go and take a job overseas, coming back to find you living in her house. And then to find, in her words, that the house has been signed over to you, her grandmother's checks have been signed over to you, and the fact that you have an insurance policy for her grandmother. These accusations. Let's start first in telling what you believe is your truth, what you say is your truth. First of all, the home. How did you get access to this home?
The nursing home?
Yes.
Actually,
no, not the nursing home, the home that you're living in.
The house I'm living in.
Yes.
Okay. Actually, Miss Ingrid decided that what she wanted to do. She said she didn't want to give it to her granddaughter because she knew her granddaughter was not able to take care of the home. And she said, really, I don't want to, badmouth anybody or anything, but she said she never really trusts her. With the home, and other persons know, because other persons came to me concerning it also too, and everything. And when Ingrid told me what she was going to do, I spoke with the granddaughter, and I asked her to bring Miss Ingrid back home with the children, and hire someone to be there with the kids. I told her I even will offer my service to take them if they need to go shopping or whatever they need to go do. I wouldn't charge her for that. I would just go and just do it because I know Miss Ingrid. And she told me she wasn't into that. She said, Miss, I'm not into this house and I'm not into her.
This is what the grandmother said about her granddaughter?
No, this is what the granddaughter
said about the grandmother?
Yes.
So the granddaughter who's claiming, this is a grandmother, she's hurt, and so forth, she's saying that she wasn't into her.
She wasn't into it.
She told this to you?
She told us to me. She wants to speak the truth. And I mentioned this right in front of her grandmother, what she said to me. And she said, yes, she did say it. And I said, that's why we right here today, a lack of communication. You left your grandmother. She did not bring her in the home.
She did not bring her to you for care? Because the story initially we were hearing was that she brought her grandmother to be taken care of because she had to move away. That's not, how did her grandmother get in your care?
Her mother came through social service and a nurse. And it was another lady, I can't remember the other lady name. So she was
She was referred to you for care by the Department of Social Services, not the granddaughter.
No, they called me and said they have a lady, Miss Ingrid Carey, that asked me if I have any space in my home for her to come in, and I told them yes. The granddaughter never brought her.
So now the granddaughter is claiming that you're living in the home and you've changed the locks. Have you changed the locks?
Actually, yes, I had to change the locks because Miss Ingrid told me to change the locks. She had a key for it. She said, Miss Knowles, I don't know who else might have a key to the house, because she was giving a lot of people the keys, and people was going in there getting things out. Before she decided to say she wanted me to have the home, she was blessing people with all the other rest of stuff in the home.
And she gave you, what was she hoping you would do with the home?
Actually, she told me, where she know I normally help people, host people, when people don't have nowhere to live and stuff like that. And she said, Miss Knowles, you're doing such a good work. And she said, I would like to bless you with a home to continue to work.
So are you helping people with the home, or are you just living in it to occupy?
No, I helping people with the home.
So people have stayed there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The next part of this equation, obviously, is the financial part of it. People obviously pay you to take care of their loved ones.
Yes, sir.
There are accusations being made, even up to earlier today, with people out in front of their home, that you take the national insurance checks and you use them. Explain to us that.
Using the national insurance checks, some people do get checks, $295 stuff. They went up on it a little bit. There's a lot of people in there do not get checks. And when they do get the checks, I pay the bills. I pay staff. I have over 10 staff to care for these people around the clock.
So you use their checks to provide care for them?
And buy groceries and everything. Whatever the needs are, I make sure those needs are met. And everybody in that home, they could verify that. I do not take anything for myself. Which I'm supposed to pay myself a salary, but I cannot.
Do you believe that you do a good job in taking care and caring for the elderly?
Yes, I dedicate my whole life. When God called me to do this work in 2010, I dedicate my whole life to this.
How do you feel now, based on what you're going through, as a result of the charges levied against you? It's okay.
People know me. They know me. I don't hide nothing. I don't hide my bank account, nothing. The people in the Bank of Bahamas, they know me. Sometimes it's a couple of dollars go on my bank book. I crack my little jokes. I say, guy, leaving just like a stiff my shoulder back a little bit like I got something. And when I go in there, I say, guys, bill time to pay. I don't take nothing from nobody.
It's okay. This family claimed that you had your children take out a mortgage on the home. Is that correct?
That's a lie. So go to the mortgage is being paid at Scotiabank.
Who's paying the mortgage?
I pay the mortgage.
And this is the same mortgage that was continuing?
This the same mortgage, whatever she had there, this is the same mortgage.
You're just making the payments?
Yes, sir.
Whose name is the mortgage?
It's still in Phil Carey and Ingrid Carey.
You just make the payment?
I just make it the payments. I give them the paperwork that I have to let them say I have power of attorney along with the deeds. I give it to the bank and everything, but it have to remain in their name because it's their loan.
Some has levied the claim that she should not be able to make decisions because of her condition. They've levied that she may have a dementia or something of the sort and cannot make decisions for her own. And so the question then is simply, why did you not contact the family members when she started asking you to take the home and take other things? If there is a concern medically that she may not be cognizant in her decision-making, why not contact the next of kin?
Actually, I contact her brother-in-law, who she was calling. I spoke with her sister when her sister came there, I think on 2 occasions, concerning this, what Ingrid wanted to do, and also her pastor. I did not contact Philippa because she said, Ms. Knowles, I don't want anything to do with Philippa.
This is what her
grandmother said. Yes.
She wanted nothing to do with it.
Yes. I did not contact her, honestly speaking, and I hardly even see Philippa. I didn't even know who was Philippa until she called me and said she wanted to go there to the house. And I told Philippa, I said, Philippa, I don't know where the house is. I said, you probably give me the key, but I don't know where the house is. So she said, I'll meet you by Ruby Smith's, and you can follow me. And I did not went in. I stood by the door. And that was the first time me personally put eyes on Philippa.
Because she wasn't the one who brought her there?
No, she wasn't the one that brought her there.
So you tried to make contact with family members to say this is the request that she's asking for. Are you okay with this?
Yes. And they told me, say if that's what Ingrid's choice is, that's what she want to do. So then Miss Knowles, her brother-in-law said, Miss Knowles, I know you from, because he used to be at Bank of Bahamas. And I used to go in there to deal with my people checks and stuff. He said, Fam, I know you was always an honest person. And I know you would not tell me anything wrong or lie. That's what her brother-in-law said to me. And I spoke with her pastor, and I told her pastor what Miss Ingrid wanted to do. So she said, Miss Knowles, if that's Ingrid's choice, that's her choice.
You try to talk to Miss Ingrid. Miss Ingrid, I don't know if this is the right thing for you to do.
Yes,
I don't think you should give me did you send it to her?
Yes, sir.
And what did she say?
Took me 3 months. I keep on telling her, I say, Ingrid, I'm not too sure what Ingrid's, you understand? And she keep on saying, Miss Knowles, take me to a lawyer, please. Take me to a lawyer, because if you don't take this house, I'm going to give it to somebody else.
She was that demanding?
Yes. She said, because you're doing the work.
You're her caretaker. Does she have challenges with any kind of illness when it comes to dementia?
No, she doesn't. I took her to the doctor, to the psych doctor at the Rand Memorial, and was sitting with Health Social Service was in the room, and they checked Ingrid out, and I asked them, I said, do she play with dementia? They say, no, ma'am. I said, Murphy, she don't play. And I told them what she did. And they said, Miss Knowles, if she blessed you with a house, thank God. Saying Ingrid was right there. Ingrid said, yes, I give it to her.
No doubt you can understand why the community of Grand Bahama is enraged about this story, because from what they've heard and her telling a story, how could somebody do this?
Right.
How can somebody plague on a vulnerable, an elderly woman, and instead of just taking care of her,
I understand.
Trying to profit from her.
Right.
So that's why the community has expressed concern. What do you want the community to know today?
I want the community to stop, because from I've been doing this work, I have many people in my home. I never took even a candy from them. If I know they are not in their right mind, I wouldn't take anything. You understand? But if they're in their right mind, they say, Miss Knowles, I want to give you this glass of water, I would take it, but I normally would bless you with it. I don't take it for myself. I see work. So when Ingrid did that, that's when someone came in there. I wouldn't, say who it is. And they say that we need Miss Knowles to help us with this situation. And she said what she wanted to do from then. Until I decided to say, okay, Miss Ingrid, I will do it. I see work. I see something I can bless somebody, not for me to be comfortable, like they say in the house, laying up in the house. No, I see mission, I see work. Somebody need a shelter, somebody needs something, somebody needs food, somebody need clothes. I see work. I don't look for comfort. I have a little space in there for me. And the rest is for people.
You saw the reaction from your windows, obviously, in front of the home today. What came to mind as you saw the enrage of the people?
It hurt me right to my bones to know the work that I do here in Grand Bahama. People come to me, can't pay. They bring their loved one. People come to me for help. I do over 100 meals a day. And only this one thing. The other day I had a big write-up on Facebook talking about the work I do, how awesome it is. Some people from the United States call me, say they want to give me my doctor license, because I've been in the ministry for quite some time doing this type of work. And to see just one thing, just come and sit down and talk with me. Nobody did that. They just took a story and run with it.
There are people who are levying accusations, I call them, until they can be proven, that this is not the first time. That you have, I know our news team spoke to a gentleman out there who said his grandfather had passed right before COVID. He had a seizure in the home, in your home, and he felt as if there was a lack of care and concern, and then you were taking his grandfather's checks. And so he expressed concern that he had issues with the home. There are people out there who legitimately believe that this is not the first time you have taken what they call advantage of an elderly person under the disguise of providing care for them. So this is not the first accusation. Does that concern you?
Yes, it concerns me, because when they talk about checks, and NIB can verify this, sometimes they carry me there, the NIB want to get the people checks back. I need the $400 or the $300 or the $200 and something to care for the people. That's really grocery money. Let's be real. I can't really pay the staff, pay the light bill. I have to turn AC on. I have to do all this stuff, right? And when they talk about checks, they want the checks. But they do not come and bring the checks to us. So what happened, NIB came up to that, they have the checks go to the nursing home account so I could be able to get something.
Because other than the checks, how else would you be able to take care?
No, no other way.
There's no fee that they pay?
The family wouldn't pay it. Some of the family wouldn't pay it. I can be real. I got some faithful family that will come and pay. And I have some will make me a promise and say, Miss, no, they'll pay the first 2 or 3 months, and after that, I don't see them no more. I have to run them down, go to NIB and say, come on, man, fix this. So I can get something for the people.
So the monthly check isn't...
No big money.
It's just, you believe that should be, and NIB obviously, if that's happening, NIB obviously is authorizing, because you're providing care for them, they're authorizing you to be able to get the funds.
Their checks to go there to care for them. That's their check.
And it takes care of them.
And it takes care of them. We have to bathe them, feed them, clothe them. You call the family and tell the family, bring Pampers for them, they don't want. Toiletries. I told them, I say the family is responsible for their toiletries. They don't bring them. Kelly's could tell you right now, when they say Miss Knowles coming, Kelly's, I must say buy their whole shelf with all the shampoo, conditioner, with all the stuff that you need. Shavers, name it. My trolleys be full with them things. for the nursing home because the family ain't gonna bring it.
How many people do you have living in your facility?
I have about 40-something.
40-something people?
Mm-hmm. And a lot of them is homeless. We just took in one the other day. That NIB right now, NIB, that Health Social Service now trying to get it sorted out. I have to now, matter of fact, today, I supposed to put him in my car to take him where he was living in a car to see if we could find his paperwork so he could get an NIB. He in my home without anything. I have to feed him, clothe him, make sure he bed, make sure the doctors and nurses them come to see him. All this stuff we deals with. I hire a counselor to talk to them there and all.
How would you describe what is being characterized as you and your care for the elderly?
It's very bad and poor with what they say concerning with me, caring for the people. They don't know. They don't know. A lot of them don't have no money. So for them to say what they say, but I take in NIB, that's why I don't even want to get my nails done. I don't even want to go to get my hair done or nothing. I don't even want, I be so ashamed to sit in a restaurant and have a meal. Because they think that's the people money I eat it. You say, Ms. Knowles, that's for you. I be sitting there looking over my shoulders. I cannot do nothing. They don't do what they're supposed to do. They bring them to me to care for them. Yes, people going to die. All ain't come there to die. And God tell me that. I have some who got healed, and they wouldn't leave. They tell me, Ms. Knowles, I ain't going nowhere because you've been good to me. Some going to come and they're going to die out of my control. They go in the hospital and die out of the doctor control.
Do people come, do the officials come regularly to check on your place to make sure you are up to standard and regulated?
Yes, social service come, they check me, they walk through my house. The police department has come. All of them.
And none have ever complained about the care?
Never.
If this house is at the center of this concern, what are you willing to do?
To be truthful, it's what Ingrid wants to do. And that's what she said. She wanted me to have the house, to do the work. And I doing exactly what she wants to be done. I didn't talk to Ingrid about that house. I never been looking for no house. I was quite well comfortable living right there in the nursing home with my one bedroom I created for myself.
Who has power of attorney for her?
I have it. She told me to do it.
She told, how did you get it? She told you?
Yes, sir. She told me to do it. She said,
and how was it done? What process did you go through to get it?
When you go through the lawyer do it, and then you take it to actually be registered.
And the lawyer was comfortable that this was being done above board?
Yes. He spoke with Ingrid, make sure she was in her sound mind, because he would say he would never put his business in jeopardy.
Correct.
And to have her sign any papers and everything. And they went through all you have to go through and deal with, and that was it.
And family members were aware of this?
Yes. I told them. I told the family member what Ingrid wanted.
And they didn't have any opposition to it?
No, nobody didn't say anything. Even when Ingrid did the life insurance, I wasn't even in the building. What did she do? She took out a policy? She took out her policy herself. I wasn't even in the building. When I came back from off the road, because I normally go on the road to get donations to help the home. When I came back from off the road, the insurance lady was there dealing with the other clients, with them paying their own insurance and stuff. And she said, Ms. Knowles, I'd like to see you. I say, okay. I said, what's going on? What's up? She said, yeah, Miss Carey put you down to make sure if anything happened to her, that you make sure she get a decent burial. I say, what? She said, it's only $5,000. I say, okay then. So I said, Miss Ingrid, you sure this is what you want? She said, yeah.
So the policy is only $5,000? Only
$5,000 for burial, and go straight to whoever she chooses. Tell me to send it to a rescue or whatever. $5,000.
She placed you as the benefactor? Mm-hmm. Why not her granddaughter?
I don't know. She put my name down. I didn't do it. I wasn't even there. When I came, I met this going on.
Does she acknowledge her granddaughter?
She acknowledged her, yes. She does. And everything. And she always say, and people, if they want to speak the truth, they can say that. She always say she want to take her name back. She's telling me, Miss Nose, take me to the lawyer, because I don't want to carry no more. I say, Ingrid, you can't do that, man. You understand? Did the things she say. You know, so I don't know what was going on with that relationship right there. I don't know. But she always say, Miss Nose, I don't trust her. So I wouldn't eat from her.
Do you consider yourself as one who took advantage of her?
You know, I would never take advantage of anybody. I just getting healed from cancer, baby. I need my blessing from God. And my Bible say, whatever you sow, you should surely reap. I would never take advantage of any one of those patients in there. When they see me, they see mommy. I have a mother spirit. I'm not well educated, but I have a mother spirit. And when my people see me, they see mother. And they see I'm coming with love.
If the family asks for the family's home to be returned, are you willing to return it?
Honestly, no, I would not.
You would not return it?
No, because that is not Ingrid's request.
That's not her request?
That is not her request, and that was what she told me. She told me they was coming to do this. She did tell me. She told you? Yes. After everything was done, and so on like that, and the lawyer called me to get the paperwork and everything. She said, Ma'am, Ms. Knowles, they can mess with you. I can tell you that now. They can mess with you. I said, Ingrid, I don't need no la, please. Mm-hmm. She said, but they can mess with you. She did say that.
Are you prepared to move forward with this hanging over you?
Actually, whether if I give it back or don't give it back, it can still be there. Let's be real. They don't put my name out there. They don't put things out there. So it doesn't matter which way I go. It's still going to be there. I can look at, okay, I give it the home back. Oh, yes, she guilty. See how she give the home back. Mm-hmm. They can still find something to say concerning me. They can find something to do or whatever. I want God work. I don't know how long I have here. I want to finish my task and go home to glory. I'm not carrying nothing with me. So if Ingrid won what she worked hard for, help somebody else along the way, so be it. The daughter had the opportunity to stay there and take care of Grammy. If she had to go away, all she had to do is put somebody in that house to watch Miss Carey, because Miss Carey get enough money. She gets $900 and something, okay? Could pay the light bill, the water bill, the cable bill. The mortgage was $198 a month, okay? She could have do it.
So what do you say to her daughter in our final words?
In my final word, that Philippa, you know you could have come to me and talked to me. You come there to the home several times, and you sit down, and me and you talk, and I said to you, Philippa, people out there saying things, and you say, Miss Knowles, it ain't me. I'm not saying anything. It's people, and me, you, and your Grammys talk concerning the house and everything. And I say, Philippa, this is your Grammy choice. And Ingrid did say to you, say, Philippa, I already give the home to Miss Knowles. And you say, Grammy, you know I was coming back, but Ingrid said, but Philippa, you never told me that. You told me you was going. You know the conversation. You know everything what was been said. I don't know why you try to do this and make people think I try to take something away from you. I never took nothing from you. You need to speak to your Grammy. She's the one that decided to do what she did. It wasn't me.
Murphy Knowles, thank you for speaking your truth.
Yes,
I appreciate it. And we hope at the end of the day, just a peaceful resolution to a situation that's very concerning. Thank you for coming on the rundown.
Okay.
And stay with us. We're back after this.
That's the bear of the Bahamas. I like to go
Welcome back. Many of you would have missed what took place throughout the events of today. I think it's important to share it with you. Earlier, residents would have gathered in front of the elderly care facility to show support for Philippa. Our Shalia Roll was on the scene, capturing the unfolding events, gathering details for that developing story. Take a look at the report.
Residents in Grand Bahama are raising serious concern, questioning the credibility about an elderly care facility and its owners, questioning whether or not it truly provides a home away from home. Protesters gathering outside of the elderly facility on Thursday morning, demanding answers and justice.
How you can let someone who you know in and right mind sign over all them stuff?
The protest stems from allegations made by Philippa Carey, daughter of Ingrid Carey, a resident of the facility ran by Murphy Knowles. Philippa claims her mother's life insurance, survivor's benefit, national insurance pension, along with her home were all signed over to Murphy Knowles after she placed her in the home. Community members describe the situation as heart-wrenching.
Murphy got to go! Murphy got to go! Yeah! Murphy got to go! Murphy got to go!
So happy that Grand Bahama came out now and they speak on behalf of this home.
I'm here today because a grave injustice has been perpetrated once again against a Grand Bahamian.
Why would Mike even think about this?
For someone who's a caretaker to take advantage, I call it taking advantage.
Like it should never be a case where a Grand Bahamian is doing this to another Grand Bahamian.
Protesters outside the home also sharing their experience with the elderly care facility.
Wondering why every time I go there, he went from a size X large and pampered down to a size medium. And I was trying to figure out what's carrying on. You know, why is he getting so small?
In that room for almost 6+ hours, suffering from a seizure. It was not just him in that room. It was him and 2 other persons sharing the room.
After the demonstration at the home, the protest moved to the Harold J. Gregory building. Protesters standing outside adorned in shirts that read, "Get out the house, Murphy." Philippa's sons, along with their father, also appearing in a show of support.
She called saying, help her. She won't get out there. They hitting her and stuff. She don't like it. Help her get out there. But by the time as I try help, Miss Knowles had already had power of attorney over.
Philippa Carey arrived shortly after, greeted with chairs, hugs, and emotional support from the crowd.
I'm in shock. I don't even have the words. I don't even have the words to put together to let everybody know how appreciative I am and how grateful and thankful I am that everybody come through and so fast.
Now, this is a developing story that we will continue to follow. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shalia Roll.
Well, questions have surfaced about the attorney responsible for overseeing the power of attorney and managing other benefits in this case. Joanna Thompson-Everest reports that the attorney, who is a cousin of Murphy Knowles, stands by his actions, stating he has no regrets as Ingrid Carey is of sound mind.
Attorney at law Kevin M. Russell, who facilitated the transfer of legal rights to the conveyance of property and power of attorney for Ingrid Carey, has expressed no regrets over his actions. Russell stated that he personally spoke with Carey, confirming that she was of sound mind and fully aware of her decision. He emphasized that Carey was resolute in her intent for Murphy Knowles to receive legal ownership of her home. Our team was on the beat all day searching for answers. According to the attorney, he was informed that Ms. Carey was allegedly left alone in her home to manage on her own. This revelation comes as Russell states that it was a routine visit from a community nurse that uncovered her unhealthy living conditions.
And she contacted social services who placed Ms. Carey into the Rand Memorial Hospital and then called Ms. Knowles to go down, and Ms. Knowles went down there and then took in as a resident.
The attorney furthering that Knowles approached him about assistance with a legal matter regarding transferring property rights, which he agreed to do so. The attorney believes that the elderly was competent and in her right frame of mind during this process. He explains that the document cited a mortgage facility and a conveyance in the name of Philip and Ingrid Carey as joint tenants.
I helped them and I sat down at length in the car with Miss Carey and asking her, and knowing them, are you sure? Is this what you want? And she told me, knowing that, yes, this is what I want. In addition to that, she also told me that she would like to sign a power of attorney over to Miss Knowles so that Mrs. Knowles can take care of her personal affairs. So I said, okay, I don't have no problem with that either.
Russell notes that while he has no knowledge on what Carey means by personal affairs, however, he expresses that Carey wanted the caretaker, Murray Knowles, to continue paying her mortgage.
There's a mortgage here, and she said, yes, it does exist. Mrs. Knowles will take over the mortgage.
When asked about notifying the family regarding the legal decision, Russell stated that it wasn't necessary. He also mentioned that he has no regrets, insisting that he did nothing wrong.
In my heart, in my mind, and in my mind's eye, if I know it was wrong, I would not have done it.
When asked if it was possible for Carey to retract her decision, here's his response.
The documents on stamped or recorded, I guess she can destroy it. That would be it.
Carey remains at the assisted living facility, but her loved ones are now embroiled in a legal battle to revoke the power of attorney and reclaim her home for the family. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson, Everest.
Now, in light of these allegations against home away from home, the Ministry for Grand Bahama and the Ministry for Social Services, Information and Broadcasting released a statement explaining that the government is committed to the thorough investigation of these allegations involving this care facility. The statement continues that the protection and well-being of our elderly citizens is a priority, and this matter is being taken very seriously. The Ministry of Social Services has launched a comprehensive investigation, and the case has been referred to the Royal Bahamas Police Force for further action. Additionally, the statement says, while we understand desire for swift inquiry, we must allow the investigative process to proceed so that all facts can be thoroughly examined. We are committed to ensuring that in the case where there is egregious behavior and wrongdoing, those responsible are held accountable under the law, and we will take all necessary measures to protect the rights and dignity of our citizens. The statement noting that we ask for the community's patience and cooperation as the investigation unfolds. Well, in this final segment tonight, we talked to an official from the Department of Social Services here on Grand Bahama. Joining me in studio tonight is the Assistant Director for the Department of Social Services in Grand Bahama, Jody Burrows, to really address this issue. Thank you for being here on The Rundown tonight.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Watson.
There's a lot of anger and rage about this story. People are upset. People have expressed their views. If you see in the amount of comments online, people are upset. People are disappointed. What I want to find out, first of all, is there some regulation in place for these living facilities for the elderly that Social Services is responsible for monitoring?
Yes, sir. Thank you again, Mr. Watson. So the Department of Social Services has a responsibility for residential facilities on the islands of the Bahamas. And the the Senior Citizens Division is that division that is responsible for ensuring that these homes are operated as it relates to the residents, that they are being adequately cared for.
What kind of monitoring takes place by the Department of Social Services to ensure adequate facilities and operations?
Okay, so the division, which is supervised by Chief Social Worker Brenna May Rowe Cooper, she has the responsibility, and officers working with her who visit the homes regularly. As a matter of fact, the facility in question, the last reported visit was the 3rd of October.
You would have visited on the 3rd of October, this month?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, and when they conduct their visits, they speak with the residents to ensure that they are being cared for. They ask them questions. They give them the opportunity to speak for themselves.
Were there any concerns?
There has been no concerns reported to the Department of Social Services.
Now, if Social Services comes to a home and interviews people, and people speak, are you certain that people are speaking from their free will, or do you believe there may be some level of fear because the operators are watching or listening? Are you satisfied that the reports you're getting from people are the true reports?
Well, we can only go by what the residents say to us. And they are not interviewed or being spoken to in the presence of a caregiver.
A staff or caregiver.
Yes, they're not, yes. So they have the freedom to speak to the social worker when they visit the homes.
Is there a general concern about the way our elderly are being treated? I know this has been Older Persons Month as well. Is there a general concern about how the elderly is being treated and whether or not decisions are being made in the best interest of them?
Mr. Watson, as it relates to the facilities and the seniors, you know, it is unfortunate that the report we received today is even being discussed. You know, it is important that we care for our elderly. The homes must be commended for providing the service that they do provide. However, we must continue to have the public maintain the level of vigilance and passion that they are exhibiting today. As families, we must ensure that our elderly are being adequately cared for. It is our responsibility, and community as well, to ensure that the seniors are being cared for.
Is there a concern that when persons are put in these homes, they're often left there and then there's not a continual interaction and visit from families?
That has been reported to us. When we have the opportunity to speak to the residents or even the proprietors of the homes, at times they express the concern that family members do not visit, on occasions have left and no one has returned. But that is not the norm. Family members often take the time to go and visit their loved ones.
This story came to light because the family sounded the alarm and came forward. Do you encourage that, if there are concerns?
Yes, we do. And unfortunately, it has come to this point where the Department of Social Services has had no involvement with the family. The family has not come to the department to levy any complaint or concerns to us.
I'd ask you, and I want people to understand the process. When you're talking about check payments that are given to persons from NIB and so forth, is that the process that if you're in a home, that check goes to the home, or is that still the property of the elderly person who's receiving that, and that has to be a decision made?
The decision is actually made with either the resident, as long as they are able to make that decision, or their family members who would have the authorization to do so, to make that arrangement with the National Insurance Board. The usual cost of being placed in a facility is about $600. And
this is monthly.
This is monthly, and oftentimes we have persons who are seniors who are receiving a benefit from National Insurance, retirement benefit, whose pension may be $320, and family members must, of course, subsidize that.
All right, I'll give you the final closing word. Anything else you want to add to this discussion here tonight?
The month of October is recognized as Older Persons Month, and this month's theme is "It's our place to collaborate and protect our seniors." And in this vein, the seniors division we commenced the month with a church service, and we've had other activities throughout the month. In July of this year, there was a legal forum that the seniors division had to advise and inform our seniors for situations such as this.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on the show and sharing this information. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
When we come back and we wrap up, I want to have at this desk the young man that broke this story from our northern service here in Grand Bahama, and to get his take on this story, how he got this story, the angle of the story, and what he has been able to champion and lead. Ramiko knows. He'll join me at this desk and we close when we come back.
Strong family bonds provide a crucial support system, often filling the gaps that might otherwise lead to reliance on social assistance.
If we get the family structure support system right, you won't see adult children willingly putting their parents in senior citizens' homes. You won't see anyone putting children up for adoption. We should be the safety net for when the family begins to have some challenges.
Addressing the root causes of dependency is essential, as our goal is to shift the focus from merely providing aid to fostering self-reliance.
We must be prepared to move persons from dependency to self-sufficiency to economic empowerment. And I'm asking the public to join us on this journey.
This has been the Heartbeat Brief, an inside look at the Ministry of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting.
The Ministry of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting is partnering with the Bahamas Christian Council to help build stronger Bahamian families.
I believe that our ultimate experience in living begins with God and family.
Our purpose is to facilitate, guide, inspire, and equip you to have a better life.
And a strong family foundation begins with each of us trying to become better individuals. Let's unite
for a stronger Bahamas.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting, the heartbeat of the nation, leading Bahamians from dependency to self-sufficiency to economic empowerment.
The Northern Service news team has done an exceptional job covering this story on various angles and really just being professional about it. We're extremely proud of all of our reporters here at the Northern Service, and it's led by the dynamic anchor Rumiko Knowles, who would have uncovered this story this week while producing the news this week. Rumiko, first of all, congratulations on a job well done with this story.
Thank you. Thank you.
And of course, for the leadership that you've shown with the reporters here covering all angles of it. How did the story come about?
I'm home relaxing, and Philippa reached out to me, and she said that she's a little apprehensive to tell me what she was about to tell me. And I said, what is it? She said, can you give me a call? I said, sure. And she told me over the phone everything that was happening, and she said people have been coming to her and encouraging her to tell her story, but she was so afraid. And so I said, this is something that needs to be told. You need to share your story. And she was afraid because she said her mother was still in the home, and she didn't know what may happen if the story gets out while her mother is still in the home. And so I told her that you can't allow that to paralyze you, that fear of, you know, crippling yourself and not being able to share your story. Tell the world, tell people what's happening. I told her, this is going to go national. I promise you, this would be national. And so the minute it was posted and I saw what it was doing, I messaged her and I said, get ready.
Wow. As journalists, we tell these stories on a daily basis, and oftentimes we try to just be the one telling the story, but sometimes we end up becoming a part of it because of the community impact that it has. And I saw you out at the protest today there and talking to people and so forth. Sometimes it's hard to separate yourself from the story because it has such national impact to it.
It is. I wanted to go out there because I felt like it was something that I created, and I didn't want to remove myself from the situation. I wanted people to see me and wanted people to know that we're here for them. If they're telling their stories and they're protesting, we should be there covering that as well. Every single aspect of the story, we want to make sure that we're able to cover and get that message out there, whatever the message may be. I went to bed maybe 2 a.m. and got up at 6 a.m. Trying to orchestrate the team and making sure that we're able to get to these places as the story was unfolding, because so much information was coming in and so many people were just messaging, and it took so many twists, and you have a newscast to produce. And so it started at 5 a.m.
Yeah, and it's still going.
It's still going. So
I think I know the answer to this, but does it end here?
it doesn't end here. Of course, tomorrow is another day, and there's now other aspects of the story that we now have to unravel and unfold, and so that's where we pick up at tomorrow. We understand now that a report has been made to the police, and so of course now we're going to find out the process, what happens next with the police, and what's going to happen at the end of the day.
Correct.
That's the big question. Murphy said that she's not willing to give up the home. Philippa wants the home, and so what's going to happen? And that's the question we trying to get answers to now.
Well, I know it's in capable hands. Again, I cannot say on behalf of the entire Broadcasting Corporation and the public who have been watching and tuning in, great job with this story. The entire news team here at the Northern Service ought to be commended.
Absolutely.
And I am extremely proud of the work that you have been doing here, and to be able to come here today with the show and just continue the legacy that you guys have started over here. I'm indeed honored and humbled by that, and hats off and congratulations to all of you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
And thank you for watching. All of you who've been a part of ZNS, continuing to bring these stories to light and making us your news leader, we are indeed appreciative of you. The bottom line is, there is no winner here. And if you're looking for an analysis, there is none. This story is unfolding and it's continuing. And while some people may want it to be stronger, or while some people may want there to be more hostility, while some may want there to be more calm, the reality is we brought the story to you and allow you to hear from the various players and the people involved in it, and perhaps leave it to you to make a decision. At the end of the day, the only way we can have stronger communities is if we address the issues and shed light on them. And that is what we do here at the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. Shed light on the issues and hopefully get answers to bring resolve and keep our community connected. All the way in the north here in Grand Bahama, thanks so much for watching us on The Rundown. I'm Clint Watson. Don't forget Royston Jones comes your way at 11 o'clock with the 11 o'clock Bahamas Tonight. For all of us, have a great night.